Mark Dice joining us for the rest of the hour dealing with the First Amendment. You just heard Dr. Francis Boyle, who knows Cass Sunstein, talking about how this guy wants to destroy the First Amendment. They're openly announcing cybersecurity, Homeland Security taking over the web, openly saying they may start curtailing free speech. Well, Mark Dice went out and talked to a bunch of people on the street, and the majority of them read the petition and said, yes, indeed, in San Diego, we want to ban free speech and criticism of Obama. But they don't think they're going to lose their free speech. Free speech is for everybody. So I want to go out to break, and we're going to come back with Mark Dice with part of this 10-minute video. We'll play the rest later, but we'll talk to Mark Dice about these incredible developments coming up after this quick break. But here is the opening part of Mark Dice's video in San Diego.
I'm Mark Dice, and this is a petition to repeal the First Amendment to the Constitution. You may be saying that nobody's going to sign this, but I would be willing to bet differently. Petition, please. What is it for? It's to repeal the First Amendment in the New World Order, stop hate speech. You know, we want to really just kind of look at that issue again, and you know, I mean, people are disagreeing with the president. I mean, we're going to stop that. Thanks. Oh. Hey, can you just sign our petition quick to stop hate speech?
Hate speech?
Stop the hate speech. Get these people to stop, you know, saying mean things and disrespectful things. And start with, you know, repealing the First Amendment and just kind of looking at that again. You know, do we really need that in the New World Order in today's society?
No.
You know?
I agree with you on that.
Can you just quick sign our petition? We're trying to repeal the First Amendment to the Constitution. It's part of the New World Order. You know, people are abusing things and saying really mean things about you know, the president and this hate speech, and so this will stop that.
Actually, I'd feel more comfortable if I went on and researched it online a little bit more.
Well, we're Citizens Against the First Amendment, catfa.org.
Okay, I'm gonna look on catfa.org.
Okay. Do you want to? What would make you feel comfortable signing it?
Just sitting down and looking at more information that's available online.
Are you familiar? Are you familiar with the evils of the First Amendment and how just horrible it is and how outdated such an idea is?
I'd feel more comfortable just looking online and kind of researching it myself.
Okay.
Yeah. But
we won't spam you or anything.
Oh, I know. But I like to make sure I know exactly what I'm signing. Just you know, it just makes me feel comfortable knowing.
Just to make sure.
I'm not just signing and just signing it, you know, so I want to sign things that I believe in as well.
So you'll know why we need to get rid of the First Amendment.
Exactly. That's why I like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. That makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you, though.
Thanks. We just want to stop the hate speech. This would be just a quick thing to stop the hateful things, and it'll help to legislate, you know, the things that people say that they disagree with, you know, against the government and the Bilderberg Group, and just a signature and a birth date will be fine. No phone number. Sounds like a good thing. You know, I mean, in today's New World Order, we don't need these idiots, you know, disagreeing with the president. Oh, you got to sign it too.
I don't disagree.
So you read this? You're okay with that?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
He is in our film Truth Rising. Burmas interviewed him as one of the main experts in his upcoming film Invisible Empire. And if you want to know how activism is done, writing books, running a website, going out with street actions, going out to universities, bullhorning, showing how ignorant the public is to tyranny, Mark Dice does it as good as it's done. And we can all learn something from Mark Dice and his new book, The New World Order, Fact and Fiction, available at Infowars.com, along with the other 3 books that Mark has authored and published. So I guess that's 4 books now, if memory serves, that we offer that Mark Dice has put out. 1 he republished, 3 he's written. And so he is He is with us today for the balance of the hour. For stations that just joined us, I did that first segment playing some of the people he talked to. The vast majority that he talked to would read a petition, a fake petition, saying, I want to ban free speech. I want to ban criticizing Obama and anyone that opposes the New World Order. We'll actually read that petition here on air today. But Mark Dice of The Resistance, it's good to have you with us. The Resistance Manifesto, The Illuminati Facts and Fiction, The New World Order, Facts and Fiction are the books. And he's had two different versions of Resistance Manifesto. And markdice.com, of course, is the website. Our websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. And make no mistake, we are on the cutting edge, the front lines of resistance to this New World Order. Mark, I tell you, I have never seen anything as stunningly powerful as what you did out there, showing how those people would sign a petition to ban the First Amendment.
Yeah, and, a lot of people think that I just cherry-picked a lot of these people. I left almost everybody in there that we talked to. One, I edited out and I didn't show because I burst out laughing as soon as I started talking to them about the petition. I couldn't contain myself. And one other lady, just for length, I left out. And, my other petition, this is a third in a series of petitions that I've done, and this is by far the most shocking one. And some people in the comments say, oh, well, they just signed the petition because they didn't want to be bothered. And even if that were true, that's...
No, you read it to them, and that one guy says, I agree.
Yeah,
we need to... No, they read it. Listen, see, that's the denial. They're in denial about the flu being a hoax, man-made global warming being a hoax, the WMDs being a hoax, 9/11 being a hoax, the banker bailout is a hoax. I mean, people just can't believe that stuff is going on, even when it's admitted.
No, and even the one guy at the very end that stopped signing it as soon as I mentioned it would repeal the First Amendment. I warmed him up by saying it would help to stop the hate speech. He starts signing it, and then I'm just coming up with the most ridiculous stuff I can think of off the top of my head.
And I can see you fighting back, laughing every time. I mean, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, and I'm stumbling over my words, and I had to dumb myself down because I just couldn't believe. I was trying to think of the most ridiculous things that I could think of, and I just kept saying them. The one guy at the end, I said, what this would do is repeal the First Amendment. He stops his pen right in his tracks, and he scratches his name off. And he says, I don't think so, I'm not going to sign. And then I start arguing with him. I said, well, why not? I mean, this would be a good thing. And he said, he points to the petition at CATFA.org, this phony organization, Citizens Against the First Amendment that I said we were with. And he said, I'll do some research on you guys. So either this guy was so brain dead that he thought that he had to go and do some research to see if he was with Citizens Against the First Amendment, or he was so cowardly that he couldn't stand up for what was right in the face of what was a complete lie.
And then one lady says she doesn't want to get rid of free speech, but she does want to get rid of the Second Amendment.
Well, and I almost convinced her to change her mind, because you could see her just mindlessly, like a bobblehead, just nodding and agreeing with me when I'm making these phony sales pitches as to why we should repeal this. And I think the only reason why she didn't do it is because I noticed this later, that she was wearing, I believe it's a shirt from a local Christian church. And so she's probably a right-wing person, doesn't like Obama, and so when I started saying that it would stop criticism of Obama, I don't think she liked that very much. So, if it would have been somebody else, a different president, perhaps she would have signed it. But none of these people, it shows that they're so brain-dead that half of them don't even know what the First Amendment was. They didn't even ask me, what is the First Amendment? Why would you want to do that? And then they wanted to support speech to stop people from saying mean things. We can't have people saying mean things. It's completely absurd. I can't believe it. And I can't believe that the video hasn't gone more viral than it is. But as we know, the mainstream media wants to keep people dumbed down, so they can't be showing people the just how lost society really is. Maybe this is only California, but this is in a pretty affluent neighborhood. This is in a place where the average home, I think the minimum home is $500,000 to $600,000 minimum. I mean, some tiny little shack in the middle of nowhere, $500,000. This is a nice, educated area. I mean, I can't imagine if I would have done this, inland where I live.
Who do you think the scariest one was? I mean, I think that middle-aged kind of hippie guy, he was the scariest because he really read it and he said, I agree, we need to shut them down. It
says in bold print, repeal the First Amendment. And then at the end of the video, I read the text, just a short little 3-sentence text that says that we need to stop people from criticizing Obama. They're holding him back from creating the New World Order, and those kinds of protections aren't needed in today's society. And he read through it. He put his finger, you can see him reading it line by line, and that's why there was a little bit of dead air there, and he actually read it. And then I made sure, I said, you read this, right? You're okay with that? And he said, I don't disagree with that. It's unbelievable.
Because it's Obama. He's a fake liberal caught up in that false paradigm. So, yeah, let's ban these right-wingers. But we heard the same thing from Michael Savage and Michael Reagan. When Michael Reagan said, murder Mark Dice, I'll give you the gun, the ammo, I'll pay you to murder him. I mean, it wasn't a more clear solicitation of murder. And the FBI said that's okay. You know, that's all right. He's allowed to say, kill Mark Dice.